Wes, what's up? Welcome to the Road to Black podcast, episode 46.
What's up, dude?
How are you, man?
Good, man. How are you doing?
Doing good. Recovering from COVID.
Got the vid.
I did. Almost, 2 years in. So, yeah, just trying to get back into regular life, man.
Gotcha.
It's been I'm on my third week. And I feel good now, but it was, I don't know. The first couple days was really tough. And it was just it's such a long story because we had returned from Hawaii.
I was going to ask if you picked it up over there, you think?
You know, it's hard to say because almost every time we travel, somebody ends up getting sick afterwards. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I think just air travel wrecks your immune system is what I've heard. So maybe our immune systems are down, but I will say that my lady in the week after had someone exposed. She got exposed to someone at her work. So it was a combination. We just get back into town, start returning to work and regular life, and then boom. So like a week and a half later, we picked this up. Mm. But you know, it's one of those things. It's like, because they say it can be kind of dormant in your body. You really don't know when you get it because we actually were getting tested up until Hawaii. Negatives. We got tested when we got back just to be safe, negative in the week we got back. So, and then a week later, boom. And she got a positive. She went and got a rapid test and got a positive. She was having a couple symptoms. And so I was like, uh-oh, obviously we're with each other all the time. I'm like, okay, I'm going to prepare for this. Neither of us got vaccinated, by the way. So, I'm like, okay, she tests positive. The next day, I think she went back and got another test because she didn't trust the rapid test, which I don't either. Those rapid ones, I mean, I think there's more data even coming out now that are saying like those things are garbage, most of them. So she gets the PCR and gets that back in a day, negative. Okay, so we're like, okay, maybe it is just your allergies or whatever. Because she was like, it was literally like a cold, like an allergy flare up. And she tested negative. So we're like, oh my God. Someone else at her work tests positive. So she's like, I got to go back. I test again, negative, like a day or two later. So it's just like this uncertainty with the testing. So finally she tested positive. I went on that last time she did. I test negative. So I'm testing negative this whole time. Eventually, though, it got to me. So however it did, I immediately just stopped coaching and going to the gym. Mm-hmm. But, I was at the gym a few days before that. And, so I told all my training partners and stuff, and told G, I'm just not going to be in for a few weeks. So, so I ended up testing positive and I felt fine. And, actually tested negative, like I said, twice. We're just going because there's a place by our house. It's free. You just drive right through. You get the results basically in about 36 hours. And, it was like, I woke up one day and it was in the middle of the night. I couldn't sleep, and I had flu feeling. I was just feeling like just that sick feel. You feel sick,
body aches.
Yeah, exactly. It's just you're not normal. That day, that next night, that afternoon, I went and got tested. And that's when I got the positive. So, first 2 days were like super. It wasn't pleasant. I basically laid around all day, and my body. I had muscle pain is what the biggest symptom was. Like my whole back. Every muscle in my back was hurting, which is weird. It wasn't like lower back or upper. It was like everywhere, like on the back of my lats, every muscle you can imagine. If you look at the skeleton, the human body, that was so weird. So muscle pain and just extreme fatigue. Like I I'd wake up in the morning and then like have a cup of coffee or just drink some water or something. Like an hour later, I'd just be sleeping again for 3 hours or more. That's not like me. Normally, if I get up in the morning, boom, I'm up. There's no naps so it just wiped me out for a few days. I never had a cough or nothing. No sneezing, no sinus infection, none of that. So I can definitely tell it kind of got into my lungs though, because even doing simple tasks like once we started going back out, just going to the store or something within the last week or so is like, like, oh my gosh, you can feel, yeah. It's weird because I'd heard a lot of people say that, about, and that was our experience too. So we're still really recovering right now. I mean, going on into the third week, but it is what it is. Yeah.
I know a guy, 36-year-old former marathon runner for like a decade.
Mm-hmm.
He said he thought he was going to have to go to the hospital. He was like, he thought he was like down that hard.
Yeah.
Thought he was going to have to go to the hospital. He didn't end up going. He recovered. And then finally, he started lifting again. We were talking back of how's it going? How's training going? He says, I feel okay. I tried to jump on a treadmill. He says I couldn't even put in a minute on a treadmill.
Yeah.
His capacity was just shot.
Yeah. And that's the problem with athletes too, is they're trying to come back too soon. It's making it worse.
Yeah.
A lot is what I'm hearing too, because I don't know, man. I could not train jiu-jitsu in the last week. No way. There's just nothing there. So, yeah, I mean, everyone experiences it differently, Like I didn't have any, no major symptoms, wasn't throwing up, wasn't on the toilet at all, none of that. Like,
did you lose taste or smell?
Yes. Yep. I completely lost my smell.
Do you have taste?
I've had taste pretty much the whole time, but it's different taste. So it just fucks with you, Like things taste differently. It's weird, but it's either not as harsh, or in some cases, like I took a sip of Diet Pepsi the other day and it just tasted like super sweet, like over the top. It was just weird stuff, like, but the smell absolutely has went away because I can't smell.
Still can't smell.
No. I mean, certain things you can, but like it got to where I couldn't smell my coffee, can't smell cannabis, can't smell whatever it is. Like we have herbal, we have like like herbal medicines and stuff that we use, either peppermint or oregano and stuff. And I was putting that, like, have you ever had like oregano drops? Do you know what those are?
Yeah.
Yeah. Super powerful. Like, you're not supposed to really ingest a lot. Like, I'll take a drop in like a thing of water or like a shot glass of water if I ever have like I feel like my throat's getting sore. And I swear to God, that helps so much. But that stuff is so strong. Like you smell oregano normally and it's like, whoa.
Yeah. Yes.
I literally had the little tincture up, essential oil up into my nose and I cannot smell it, which is crazy. It's a trip because you're like, what the, it smells like,
yeah.
So
that's gotta make eating.
It's so weird. Like it hasn't
much less enjoyable.
It hasn't. Well, see, I haven't lost my taste that much. It's just the smell. But like my lady lost taste and smell. So she was noticing like stuff didn't taste different or right, and I was like, my sister has had COVID twice and was vaccinated. She got COVID, then got vaccinated, then I believe got COVID again. All within the last couple of years. She got early COVID. Like she got it in like February of 2020 before it was even a thing.
Yeah.
Sick for like 3 weeks. Everyone, and even our family was like, what's going on with her? This is not like the flu. It was just so different. And I think now that's probably, and she actually went and got antibody tested like a month or two later and had the antibodies. So she knew that's what it was. This was before it was even in the news here. Because he started hitting like in March of 2020, when people started talking about it. But, yeah, so the thing about it is, for me, I have a business, so that's been the worst part. Is I had to shut down my business for certain hours of the day. I don't have anybody to cover those hours. I have several employees, but they're all students. They all have. I can't ask them to miss a week of school or work or their other jobs, and so that's the crappy part about it, is just having to not, you have to kind of disconnect, because I didn't want to be around people and, spread it. And because I guess it's highly contagious, but I was never coughing or sneezing or anything. So I don't know that I'm spreading it too much, unless you're like right in my face, which it's basically just been us at home the last couple of weeks. So, that's
glad you guys are all right.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, I wasn't even, for me, I wasn't scared of getting it or anything. I would just I have faith that I am in good health, and, or decent health, I should say, as healthy as a type 1 diabetic can be. And, just go from there. I've been sicker with the flu, but this wasn't pleasant. The first couple of days, like I said, were kind of rough, but after that, it was just you feel crappy. That's how I was. Thank God I didn't have like a major sinus infection, or, I've had, or like I'm sitting on the toilet all day or throwing up. I didn't have any of that. So I was just thankful that, I was like, I can take feeling like shit for a few days, but, that's pretty much what it was. And after, I think on day 6, after my first symptom, I went and got a monoclonal antibody infusion. So I think that was helpful, because they say you get that somewhere in the 7 to 10 day range before it gets bad, because some people, it just keeps getting worse in their lungs.
Yeah, it does.
That was my main concern. So I guess who knows how the hell if it worked or not, but I'm saying it kind of cut it off at the pass, and didn't make anything worse, because I never did get bad chest congestion or anything like that. So, it's kind of it fucks people's lungs up.
Yeah, it's a respiratory issue.
And, that always concerns me. I had asthma as a kid. I haven't probably taken care of my lungs in the best way possible over the years. So it's, but it was fine. The infusion was like,
how long did that take?
It took it's 30 minutes to infuse it for the infusion. And then they keep you for an extra hour to make sure that you don't have any side effects or anything. But, I can only speak from our own experience. My lady went on 3 days before me and got one too. Both of us, we were the most fit people in the room, and everyone else had. In my room, there's multiple people everyone had multiple pre-existing conditions. I mean, they were people in rough shape. Everyone in the room was overweight. And most of the people were double vaccinated. So in fact, in Jeanette's, I think there was cause they do it all in where I did it was at Banner Baywood Hospital in Mesa. So they have an infusion center there. Basically it's just a medical room, and you have all these, they probably have 8 to 10 lounge chairs in there. Everyone's wearing masks. Everyone comes in at different times. They're all getting infusion. They're all being asked questions. They go around and ask everybody. I think 7 out of the 10 people in Jeanette's were double vaccinated. But it just shows man, at this point, you can't let your guard down even if you have the vaccine, because, I think they're even saying now it's 4 months for the Pfizer, where it starts drastically dropping off in efficacy. So
yeah, I mean, it's it just keeps people off the tube. Yeah.
I mean, that's
still
what I'm
gonna
saying. You gotta. But some people don't think that. It's I have people in my family. I'm like, it doesn't. It's good that you got it, but don't. If you got it a year ago, make sure you're not letting your guard down. Because it can still get you. I mean, they're not breakthrough. It's not a rare breakthrough case. Is not rare anymore. I mean, I'm sick
No,
of seeing that
not
in
at
the
all.
media because most of the people I know that have gotten it lately have been vaccinated by this time, because now
Yeah.
we're a couple years in. People have gotten vaccinated, and for some, if you're not getting the booster, it can be wearing off. So, it is what it is. But I went and got that treatment. I got a Myers cocktail, which is just like a push of vitamins. Those things I love those things. I try to do those every once in a while. I almost always do those around times I compete too, because you're like depleting yourself. Especially if I was cutting weight, I'd always go get one of those. But so that, and just tons of vitamins. Like I never stopped taking vitamins the whole time. So I have like a whole, I'm like an old grandpa. I have like the Monday through Saturday
Nice.
through Sunday. I do, because it's like it's tiring every day. I'm opening up like 10 bottles,
Totally.
So now I have this. I went to Walgreens and got one of those little pill boxes, and once a week I just fill that thing up with different stuff. And so yeah, man. That's
When
what
do you
I've
go
been
back to jiu-jitsu?
That's what I'm going. Probably
any
next
plan
week.
for that?
Yeah,
Okay.
next week. Yeah. Just mostly because I don't want to. I just want to make people feel comfortable too. One of my training partners got it as well at the same exact time. So I was like, did I give it to him? Did he get it? So it was just like this. So he's already tested negative now. So he'll probably go back next week too. But
Yeah, it's crazy, man. We share a friend that I don't want to dive too much into his stuff. He has a job. Obviously, he's got a job, but he tested positive, got super sick, and then he went through like this. The CDC recommendation is like 10. You can go back to work 10 days after the end of your symptoms or something like that. Well, his job wants him to show up in office. He has to have a negative test, but he's like 30 days out and still testing positive with
Right.
no symptoms. So they won't let him come back to work.
yeah.
He's like, and he like sent them the CDC guidelines. It's like, look, he's like, I haven't had symptoms. At this point, he's going on weeks now, close to a month. And he's like, still testing positive. They're like, nope, you have to have a negative test before you come back. Doesn't matter what you're saying. He's like, He's like pulling his hair out because he's like he can't get back to work.
That's what I don't know. I'm probably. I guess I don't know. I kind of want to get tested, but what if it still says positive? It's like, my wife had a good point because she had a guy at her work test positive, and he actually went and got a test that said negative, and so she kind of got. He works for her, and she was like, we should have talked about this because that can be set a precedent and work one way or another, because if he would have tested negative, she would have been in a conundrum with him not being able to come back to work because she knows the guidelines and knows the rules, so I can see that, but to have she's in the opposite. She doesn't want, that's her philosophy. She's like, hey, if you've had it for a few weeks and they say you're not contagious, yes, you can come back and wear a mask. You don't have to have a negative test because, as I told you, when we were getting ready for Hawaii, one of my daughters tested positive.
Yeah.
That was 45 days after she got it, her first symptom. So, yeah. I mean, so what it is they say it's, and even the people in the infusion place told me this. When you test positive, they have like the Department of Health call you, and they all say 10 days after your first symptom, not after your. So to me, it is very soon, to be honest. So that means I could have went back last week to jiu-jitsu, to wherever. But they do say that you should, for weeks, you should be wearing a mask when you're around people. So, which obviously isn't really conducive to jiu-jitsu. So I'm just staying away until I, feel like I'm done and not sick anymore,
Yeah.
So, Just like I would with any other sickness. You know, I don't go train when I'm sick. You know, if I feel like I don't feel good, I'm going to take the week off, you know, and usually that's all I take off is a week, maybe sometimes two. This one's going to be a little longer just because I want to play it safe and I don't want to be responsible for getting anybody. Plus, I'm just not ready to. I'm just not ready to train right now. You know, I could go coach and stuff, but my cardio, I could tell you right now, it's that I've no, you know, It's not like I'm even running or anything. I went to the gym this morning, but it's like walking flights of stairs. You know, it affects you like that for sure. And I'm in good health, so I can't imagine someone to be in shitty health. That's what I was seeing when I was in the infusion center. There's just like real rough. Like a couple people next to me, I'm like, oh shit, man, what a life this person's. It was a rough go. Like they were getting the treatment because they didn't want to die.
Yeah.
So
yep.
It was weird. It was really weird. The whole damn thing is weird, but here we are. I'm hoping I have a mega antibodies now, and
you just got your booster, dog.
Exactly. So, I mean, in that term, like to me, it was like another sickness. I hate to say it, but I've been far sicker at times,
Totally.
and it just sucks, and but it is what it is. Hopefully, we can just keep starting to manage it, and they're having more medicinal ways to treat it now, which is great. And this is one of them, the monoclonal antibodies. There's like a lot of doctors that don't even know. It's literally, I think it's the only early COVID treatment there is right now, approved by the FDA or whatever. I don't put too much thought in, too much confidence into the FDA, but it is approved, these treatments, and a lot of people don't know about them. But it's kind of the Joe Rogan cocktail is what we did.
They do them at the hospital out here.
I didn't. Yeah, I know. I was reading about them, how like they were limited on how many people across the country had them. Some states, some doctors in states and like physician groups, they're all about it. So they're like, hey, give us. I think actually, governor here in Arizona, Ducey, was kind of big on getting those in here too. So because they're more of the treatment side. The Republican, I would say the Republicans are more about these other treatments versus the vaccine. It's just been this political thing. I hate to say that, but that is a benefit of Arizona, is like they are open to doing all these other treatments. So they're trying to get as many medical centers out there. And they've done a lot of testing here. So at first you couldn't get a quality test. Now they're everywhere. Everywhere, so, which is good. So going back to jiu-jitsu, once I'm feeling better, whenever.
Yeah, man, I was surprised, man. I texted you when I got down there, and you were like, "Dude, I just got a positive COVID."
I was like,
test.
"Damn it, I can't get together with Wes."
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I was right in the middle of it right then. So, how was your trip?
It was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, had a good trip. Trained a bunch down there. I didn't get into the 6 a.m. class. I got to Josh Rodriguez's his 10 a.m. class.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he pieced me up pretty good. 2 days before he competed at was it Third Coast?
Yeah.
Third Coast Grappling. So he did the Third Coast Grappling tournament. Did a crazy match.
Yeah.
They got a little out of hand.
Got some views on social media.
Yeah, he pretty much went viral, man.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Everybody was
I was loving it,
tweeting it and put it on the reposting it on Instagram, and
I was like, this is a great time to go viral. He's wearing my new rash guard.
Totally,
it was awesome. I was like, hell yeah, slap him again. But,
yep.
If you didn't see it, it was just in the heat of the battle, a no-gi match with Josh Rodriguez, one of our coaches and friends from GD Jiu-Jitsu. And he competed at Third Coast Grappling. I had several friends competing. We had several friends competing that night. He wasn't in the tournament part because he's not of that weight class. It was just like an exhibition match. And he went against another local guy, 10th Planet guy, MMA fighter. It was good, man. That guy took it to Josh.
Totally.
You know? And he was scoring on Josh. And at some point in the match, Josh was kind of on his butt playing guard, kind of had an open guard position, waiting for the guy to kind of step into his guard or whatever he was going to, get into the fight. And the guy kind of gave him like a boss rootin' to the head.
Like a head check. Like
a head check.
It was pretty physical.
Yeah, it was physical. And, I don't expect anything and nor does Josh, by the way.
No.
He didn't. And the best was the timing of Josh's response was perfect. Like it was not, it was automatic. Which was so great. It wasn't like, so basically this guy head shoves Josh and his head jacked back pretty good.
Pretty
good.
You
could see it in the replay. And, it was just getting physical. It was like, he's checking him. But Josh is already on, to Josh's point, he's already playing guard. Like, it's not like your two are standing and he's like, you guys are going to club each other's head. But right when he got pushed, Josh just, in reaction, just reached up and slapped him right across the face. It was just perfect timing, too. And then that just started a little bit of a scuffle, and they both get up and their chests get pumped out, and people start breaking it up. But it was funny, man.
I'm glad they let the match go.
Yeah, for sure.
You know
Come
what
on.
I mean?
It wasn't anything vicious or violent. What are you gonna? That was the match of the night, by the way. It was the fight of the night for sure.
Without a doubt.
So thank God they let it go, because those guys were both attacking the whole time.
Yeah.
It was cool. That was a fun night. The rule set. I wanted to ask you: did you watch a lot of the fights at Third Coast?
I watched
Grappling?
most of them. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think about that rule set? It's, to me, it's just so. I kind of like the fact that you can do like an overtime. But I just don't like the way they do it. It just, even in like Josh's match, Josh was down. Like, what's the point of the regulation scoring, I guess?
Totally.
Maybe you should have it like submission only. I mean, I guess that is it. If you win by submission in regulation, it's over. Yeah. But the scoring is weird, because whoever wins after the match time allotment on points, and it's typical jiu-jitsu scoring, right? Mm-hmm. Regular scoring.
Yep.
Whoever wins on points gets to choose the starting position of the overtime, which is a weird starting position, because it's inside closed guard or having closed guard.
Having closed guard or from the feet.
Or from the feet. Those three options.
Yeah.
And almost Aaron
got it. Yeah. Aaron got into that same scenario with his guy.
Yeah. And almost all of them chose the feet.
Yeah.
Which is like, to me, it's like, okay, now we're back to square one, because I guess not, because in overtime, the first person to score wins. So if you're a wrestler, like Aaron, did Aaron win the regulation?
Aaron,
so he chose to stand up.
He chose to stand up when they went to overtime. Then he got he did like a double leg and got the points, got the takedown points.
And won the match. Overtime for his first fight. Yeah. And so Josh lost on points. The guy, and so that's the thing. I guess if you're safe from a submission, Josh knew. He playing it safe at the end of regulation. Whatever you're doing, I mean, points don't really matter at that point. I guess in my mind, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Unless you're getting a submission. So then Josh knew it, but that guy's savvy. Josh is savvy with points and scoring. So
he's very
he
good
he knew right away that in overtime the first person to score wins, and when he got the sweep, he knew he won. So that was really tactical. It was a nice tactical effort in overtime, but he lost in regulation on points, and then they had the scuffle. Was a scuffle in regulation or overtime? I can't even remember now.
I can't even remember.
But, Seth comes out there and he's like, hey, boys. It was funny. But at least they didn't get disqualified, because that would have just been stupid. Because it's jiu-jitsu,
Exactly.
We're not playing patty cake. So.
Right.
And those guys know each other, too. So, anyway.
I think when I was talking to Josh, I think they maybe had even competed against each other in the past. at some point, or their paths had
I
crossed
think
somehow.
I think they trained somewhere.
Maybe that's what it is. That
Yeah.
they had trained together
Yeah.
at some point in the past.
But anyway, that was a great fight. Good night of fights. That was awesome. I like the event, and I like its like fight to win format.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that they gotta do something with the overtime rules, or have them start in a different position, like more dominant position, like back control or something. I don't know. But,
Yeah, then you're getting into like EBI type rule sets, and man, I don't know. There's no at this point. I think the best rule set is probably ADCC at this point, in my opinion. Like first 3 minutes, there's no points, you know?
Yeah.
So like takedowns, you get penalized for pulling guards. So it incentivizes both people being aggressive, and trying to get the takedown. Like,
yep.
you know, the first half of the match, points aren't even an option.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like, it gives people the incentive to open up their game and try, you know, get aggressive.
Yeah, that's the best.
Without being penalized. So, I don't know, man. All these different rule sets, the EBI stuff, but even ADCC is not perfect. So,
as long as you know the rules and you know what you're competing at, it's fun to watch either way.
I heard a lot of those the guys that did the last Third Coast grappling are having problems. They're either they haven't gotten paid or they're having problems with payment. So I don't know if I should talk about that on the podcast, but anyway,
I didn't hear anything like that, but I mean, I don't know. Did they just have one big purse? I mean,
well, that was the other thing that I had read that I didn't read it. I had heard was that there was like a $10,000 prize for the winner of the tournament, but apparently the $10,000 prize was split throughout the bracket. So then the winner of the tournament didn't get the $10,000 prize. They got their cut of the...
Right. Oh, okay. I thought it was promoted the other way around, but maybe I'm just not thinking, maybe I was making an assumption like everyone else, but I thought it was 10 grand to the winner.
That's what a lot of people thought, I think.
So,
yeah, and then I think that they were having issues. In fact, I don't want to say the Instagram account, but there was a post up from somebody that I follow that was talking about one of the people from Third Coast Grappling had taken out a loan from this guy. It was a total of $7,000 for flights and airfare for these people, and he had promised to get that money back to him at the next day. And this dude was obviously pretty mad, so then he started
put it online.
He put it online, and he let everybody know about it.
Wow.
So that's how I know that information. But and it was kind of vicious because he showed all the text messages and stuff, the entire exchange, and so he kind of put it out there. These guys are getting
in too deep with these.
Dude, I know, it's like Metamoris all over again. And
it's too much. Like I don't know how they do it. I don't know where they're making their money with those promotions, but you can't. I think that's the reason why Fight to Win has been somewhat successful, is because, and that's where Third Coast came in with them now. Mm-hmm. And if I'm not mistaken, it's probably somewhat due to financial stability.
Yeah.
But it's going to be hard to pay fighters big sums and lumps of money when, their whole model is that if you're a fighter, you sell tickets, then you get some of that money, right? Mm-hmm. But you have to sell the tickets to get that push. Totally. It has to be out of you and your name. What happens to all the tickets that don't get sold in people's names? Mm-hmm. Does that go to the promotion? I don't know how it works, but I do know that it's got to cost a pretty penny to move a whole team around the country every week or two. and set these things up and pay all their employees and pay all the fighters. And I think Seth's got a pretty good, if Fight to Win, pretty good record of doing so. He used to be praised, actually. Now, it's not saying they're making all this money, but the local fighters that would fight, they would be paid right after the match, cash or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's working now, but that event was somewhat similar. It was basically a Fight to Win promotion. It was held at the same place here in Phoenix that they did the Fight to Win.
Yep.
Same setup, same promotion.
I mean, Seth was at the event.
Same thing. But I think the purse, might put you in a bad position if you have to pay a bigger purse, because maybe they're just operating at a level where they're just paying and they're not making a lot of money here. They're just paying to keep going week to week. I don't know the situation, but how else are you going to have to borrow $7,000? How are you borrowing $7,000 and you don't have that? So I don't know. It's unfortunate, but how do you get more eyes on the game to pay? It's not easy. This is like existed for many years now in the MMA world too. Look at all the small promotions. There's so many small MMA promotions. So many. You don't even hear about 90% of them.
Yeah.
Because they're just filtering through this local talent. They don't have any, if you're a fighter, you're going to move right on through there. If you want to go make real money, you got to go somewhere else. So same thing with these jiu-jitsu matches. There's no deep pockets. I mean, who's making, the guys, we've talked about this, the guys that are making money in the sport are making it off instructionals.
Yep.
100%. That's what they make their money off of. So, like Gordon had that fight recently, and that was like a joke. It was
pretty bad.
It was an infomercial for he literally didn't he release a new video right after that or at that night?
Yeah, was it Top Pin? I don't know if it was
Top
Pins.
Pins
it was
or
Top
something.
Pins, right?
I mean, come on. He's like, it was literally an infomercial. He's fighting and why is he grappling if he can't grapple? I don't understand Gordon has the ego thing is just so. I love the guy as an athlete, but he's got such a big ego. He just can't. And I get it. That's why you're a champ, I guess. But you just can't let it go. He posted something yesterday. Imagine if I was 100% instead of 50%.
That's his whole thing.
And someone on the comment was like, "What if you're 45 years old when you get better?" You can't just keep saying this forever, and then go and grapple someone that's a lesser grappler than you. What's the point of that? It doesn't make any sense. But so to me, look, the guy, there's plenty of guys that compete at the top level that have issues and health issues. Okay.
Yep.
A lot. There's people with type 1 diabetics that are professional athletes. And I'm sorry, but whatever stomach problem you have, type 1 diabetes is a life sentence of managing something like that. That's a detriment to your athleticism. So I just don't like to hear, how long are you going to have that excuse? I feel, hey, if he's feeling bad, no problem. But don't come and say, when I get back, I'm going to be the best. He's already awesome. So what? Does that make sense?
No,
you're telling me the guy can't go and compete, or he doesn't want to go compete and lose because he's not 100%. Nothing's saying that he can't compete
because he's still competing.
Yes,
he
doesn't want to compete and lose.
Exactly. He's taken on scrubs.
Yeah, exactly.
And nothing against what the guy the UFC fighter that he went.
He's a UFC fighter.
He's a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
He's
a friendly
I'm sure
guy
he's got
in the gym.
Good. He's probably got good enough jiu-jitsu. Mm-hmm. He's probably eats most people for lunch. But he's not a top tier talent. He's not even like a well-known name in jiu-jitsu. You don't if you said the guy's name, I'd be like, damn, that guy's
I don't
guy.
know. Yeah, I didn't know he even did jiu-jitsu.
Right.
I know he trained. I think he trained with them at the Blue Basement or something as an MMA fighter.
So it's like you're taking on guys that he's taking on guys that he knows
stupid.
He can just tune up real quick.
Well, of course. I mean, he even said that. Like, he had to kind of explain it to his fan. But my point is, dude, let's go.
What a bust for one championship. Right?
Yeah. Well,
right?
I think they just wanted to lock the name down, you know.
But if you're one championship and you're going back to these MMA promotions, these grappling promotions, you know, you get a guy like a big name like Gordon, you want him to do a bunch of advertising for you. You want him to be out there. Not even like you want him to be competing, obviously, but at the same, like you want him to be pumping your brand. This guy hasn't done shit for one championship. Has he even competed on their stage?
No,
I don't think he has.
So. I don't think. Well, they haven't had any major grappling events, have they, recently?
I don't think so.
No, they signed a few grapplers like that just because they want to, in case they go into the grappling world or do grappling promotions, they have some kind of option. Because he's not even exclusive with grappling. If he goes to MMA, he's got an exclusive with one. But anywhere else, he can just do grappling wherever. But I don't know, man. The world of promotion and sponsorships is really strange. And Gordon's a perfect example. Gordon's been sponsored by two
gear companies.
Gear, I call them geek companies, gear companies, and both of them I don't think exist anymore. So
totally.
You know, so I think in both cases, I've studied this and I've followed it pretty closely with these companies, but I don't know these guys personally. But you know, when you have a big name like that, Gordon provides this huge influx of interest into your company, and you better be able to handle it. That's really, I think, what happened with both these companies. They just got in over their head. Maybe bought too much gear, and then Gordon's not sponsored by you. In terms of like Hypnotic, he used to be with Hypnotic. Hypnotic had like a really successful website. They were selling a lot of stuff. I would see it on people and posts everywhere.
Yeah,
and that's what he was wearing. Well, he went away from Hypnotic, and they just completely lost all the traction. Their website closed down. People were like, "Hey, where's your gear?" I was reading online, tons of stuff on there. So who knows what happened? But the second one was Future Kimonos, which was funny because he signed with Future Kimonos, which they don't even make kimonos really. I think maybe they do now, but he's a no-gi grappler. So.
Yeah.
But in that case, and I could be totally wrong here and making a huge assumption, but there's a guy from Australia, like a purple belt, went and trained at the Blue Basement for like weeks or months or a summer and became friends with these guys and said, I'm going to start a company, and started Future Kimonos with him in mind and signed or whatever Gordon. And so a couple of those bigger events, maybe even ADCC last time, he wore Future. You know, when he was winning, he won like Pan, or he won Nogi Worlds. I think he was wearing their stuff, and now they're like, I don't even know if they exist anymore because he went away from them too. But, you know, because when he's with them, people buy. But like if that happened to me, I don't know if I could do the demand because my company's so small. You know, you have to build it up smartly, because when that loyal fan base goes away with Ryan, because he's not sponsored by you anymore or whatever, because he calls the shots. See, a guy that big, he doesn't need a sponsorship. He can basically just literally Gordon Ryan could just create his own rash guard right now and put it on a website and make more money than any of us. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because that's how big of a name. That's where these guys make. He's the biggest name in grappling. So he left this last company, and I don't think they've done very well. Their like social media got cut off. You know, so it's a tough, weird business. It's just weird, you know. And I think about that a lot because I help athletes in their journeys too. But it's like a big name like that, you better be able to fill orders, get a bunch of gear, and then when that person leaves, have an expectation of your sales are going to drop off drastically. In this sport, that's how it is, you know.
Yeah.
At least with him, because it's been shown. And there's like, there's like blogs on Reddit about this and stuff that actually dig deep. These people are geeked out about it. You know what I mean? Reddit, you know, Reddit.
Totally.
It's like,
yeah, for sure.
They talk all about this kind of stuff. And I've actually found some dirt on a couple other manufacturers that are big names in the sport that if people heard about this stuff or knew about it, they probably wouldn't buy their gear. Like, there's some sketchy personalities in all businesses, right?
Yeah.
But with Gordon, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what I was getting at with that. But the sponsorship with One, you know, my point is with Gordon, it's like, dude, go fight and just see how you can do. Like, you know, the ego is so big that you can't. If everybody made an excuse about their ailments or injuries, no one would ever be fighting. So it's not that he can't grapple. It's that he thinks he can't. He doesn't want to, like, put himself in a disadvantage at the highest level, which I totally understand. But you're also have to live your life. Like, this is what you do.
Yep.
It's okay if you go out there. Like, he was winning with this problem, by the way. He's been grappling with. He says it's been going on for like years. So. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. I just thought that was it was such a goofy, weird event, and Flow Grappling is just on his dick so much. It's like that's all they have is Gordon Ryan broadcasting now. So it's unfortunate because there's actually a lot of cool up and coming grapplers and like studs, you know. And I think that'll come to the front after the Gordon Ryan holiday is over, you know, because if he doesn't grapple and he doesn't continue his career, then he just doesn't have a career. I mean, you can only say I'm the best for so long when you're not grappling. And he knows that. I mean, that's so.
Do you think it's Galvao do you think Galvao signed with One? Did you see that today?
He did sign.
Was it with One?
I don't know. He signed a 3-fight MMA contract. I
saw that
article.
But I didn't see the promotion that he signed for.
No, I didn't either.
But
that'd be interesting.
I know. That's what I was thinking too. I don't know how much. It'd be interesting to see him and Buchecha, but I don't think they wouldn't match up in the same weight class unless they could probably just gets back on the juice.
Yeah, they could probably just do as much as they want over
Which
there.
He might be back on the juice if he's going to do ADCC, so he might.
It was weird that he signed an MMA fight contract, though.
I know.
He has already fought MMA before, right?
Yeah.
A couple fights. Mm-hmm. It's weird timing. I wonder if that's going to make play into the whole ADCC thing or something.
That's what I was thinking.
As an excuse. I don't know. Well, they're both signed to MMA, and neither of them fight MMA, so maybe they'll fight each other in MMA.
That would be great. That would be great.
A lot of guys are still trying to go that route, you know. Buchecha, One. He's a. I wouldn't want to face that dude. I saw him hitting pads a couple months ago on one of the social media pages. I'm like, oh my god, dude, he's a beast. No. He's so big.
He's huge.
When you see him stand next to even a Leandro Lowe or something, who you think is big, but he's really not. Lowe used to be like a middleweight or medium heavy or something, but you know, Lowe's been jacked before. But you see those guys when they're all jacked. Buchecha's way bigger.
Oh, Buchecha
he's a beast, dude.
Insane. He's so big.
Such a beast.
He's so big.
I want to see him fight in MMA. That'd be, you know, I want to keep seeing him follow that path because he's done it all in jiu-jitsu. So
yeah, he's got nothing left in jiu-jitsu to prove.
No.
So he'd still. I mean, I think he's in the Masters division now. Technically, I'm sure he would be. I'm sure he would go fight in the adult division, but I mean, can you imagine going to
a lot of these guys don't.
Masters 1?
A lot of
you goes Masters 1, and on your competitor list is
you just became a black
in your
belt?
bracket. Yeah, you're brand new black belt. You know, and then you go and
what would you
look
do?
at your bracket, and it's like Buchecha. It's like, oh, nice.
You just got your black belt. You're 31 years old.
Well, I guess I'm done here.
Yeah.
Guess I'm done at this tournament.
Double legs you across the tournament floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. How's your training going for Master Worlds?
It's going good. It's pretty much wrapped up now. I mean, it's been awesome. I feel good. I'm not injured this time, so I feel like that's already a big win. I feel all my recovery scores are great, so my cardio feels good. So I'm just weight is pretty much on. I was a couple days ago, so I'd like to get down to 177 to weigh in at 181, and 2 days ago or yesterday, it was actually yesterday. I was like kind of stuck at 179 for a couple days, and I was like, I'm like 10 days out. I'm still okay on weight before I have to do anything drastic. And then I went for a ride. I got on the bike and did like an hour-long session, and was surprised to wake up this morning at 177. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah, I was pretty happy about it. So I was like, hit my target weight. I trained today. Jiu-jitsu felt pretty good. So I'm gonna train. I'll train, I guess, Thursday, and then the weekend, and then I'll wrap it up. I'll zip it up.
Oh, really? When are you leaving?
So I fly out on Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
So I
when
fly out on
when
Wednesday.
Are you supposed to compete?
Thursday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you know that for a fact?
Yeah, they just did an update a couple
cool.
days ago on the pre-schedule. So they updated their pre-schedule. I go on Thursday. They don't have brackets or anything posted yet, but so
coming quick.
all's yeah, it's here.
Nice.
So I'm excited to just compete. I'm just excited to compete again. So
get back out there.
Get back out there, and yeah, it's gonna be great, man. I'm really excited. And Master Worlds is fun. They've announced a bunch of seminars at the Jiu-Jitsu Con.
Oh yeah,
which is going on at the same time. I think one of the halls over is doing the Jiu-Jitsu Con, like the novice, and they're doing that stuff. So I want to try and get a few seminars out there. So
nice.
That'd
be cool.
I'm excited. I'm going to be out there. I fly out Wednesday and come back Saturday morning. So I'm going to try and make as much jiu-jitsu events and
see people's matches and stuff.
See people's matches, support people, and see teammates and old friends, and make kind of a fun little trip out of it. So
nice. Who are you going? Are you going by yourself or with your lady?
Yeah, going by myself. Yeah. So it'll be fun.
Jiu-jitsu journey,
man. It's gonna be a blast, man. I'm really looking forward to it. So it's weird, I think competition takes a toll on different people, but I'm not like, you want to go out there and win, but I'm also like, I like to compete.
Yeah.
And
especially this one coming back after a long layoff, COVID.
Exactly.
Change in environment, change in gym.
Totally.
It's like,
I'm super excited, man. I've been working on this, I've been doing a lot of Deep Del Hiva X positional stuff. So I'm really excited to try and get into those positions. And, when I came down to Arizona, I was just like, I'm just constantly looking for them. So I came down there, I was able to get into my positions. I was able to execute my techniques against some great training partners. So, I'm just really excited to see how it goes, win or lose. It's just I've got a good game plan, I feel like, and I'm just excited to compete. So it's a good opportunity.
Remember to train for the unexpected too.
Yep.
That's one of the biggest things I tell like younger competitors, especially. I'm like, or newer competitors, I'd say, not younger, but, and I experience this too. It's like it's such a always getting in tunnel vision. And it's like if the match doesn't allow you to get into your game or something, that's when you have to and that's when the most successful competitors can either get back into that position or go from there and figure out a way to get out of the person's closed guard, or, you know, be out of an uncomfortable situation right off the bat, you know, fight back. So that's going to be awesome, man. I can't wait to watch you. So I'm going to have to watch you from here. I even thought about going just to be there, you know.
I was going to ask if you're going to go out. It's a short drive from Arizona, so.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah. You probably got a lot of catch up. I mean, I got
a lot going on, yeah. A lot of catching up to do. That's in the middle of the week, too, and I'm like...
Yeah, not a great time.
Exactly. I couldn't...
If you don't plan... You have to plan for it.
Yeah. I couldn't go for Thursday. I already know that right now. But... Because I have friends and some, you know, training partners and stuff, and people are going to be competing. Josh will be out there, right?
Yeah, Josh. Man... somebody is asking me like, well, what's like the, you know, what's going on like at G's and at out there at Kimura? It's like everybody's hyper focused right now on Master Worlds. Like, how many people are going? Like a lot. Like like our gym just always sends.
Yeah.
Gustavo's, Jair's, man, the Valley. I feel like the Valley always just
there's a lot of Valley
There's
competitors.
just so many people. Yeah. They just send so many people.
I know a lot of guys and gals both that are Nick and Sarah.
Nick and Sarah both. I know. Yep.
Josh and Vanessa.
Yep.
Gustavo.
Yeah, he's doing it.
Yeah, that's what I heard. So he's. All I know is the people that train with him still are like.
Dude, last time I trained with him,
they thought they were good at jiu-jitsu until they go agained him.
He just pieced me up last time I trained with him.
Yeah,
and
everyone tells me that.
It was like, you know, he would pull, and I'd like set all my frames and stuff, and I would like keep my frames. And it was like he's like so in tune with those like little fine like. He shot like triangle. He shot like he was in like a collar sleeve position. I had his legs open, and I had like set my frames up and was staying heavy on the pressure to keep him from being able to shoot his legs up. Because if you don't know Gustavo, he's got pretty long legs. He's pretty long. He's kind of a long guy, and so I wanted to like keep him from being able to. And he could feel like I'd keep the pressure, but if I let just a little bit of pressure off, he could feel it. Yeah. And it wasn't like I wasn't letting the position go. I still had frame set. It was just he would let me put the pressure on, and then when he feels me kind of like get ready to move, and I lift my pressure up, he would just blast through it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So when he was doing the ADCC prep before he separated his elbow, it was crazy, man. He was still like the best guy on the mat. It was insane. So like watching him, and that was at the time when it was like that was the time when Gustavo's was like killers.
Yeah. 2017.
Yeah, it was 2016, 2017. It was like
a lot of
that room was nuts.
Yeah.
And
crazy.
Anyway, when he was doing that when he was preparing for that, it was like he was piecing everybody up too.
Yeah. Well, he still does that. So he's the man.
He's the man.
Training. He's been training a cool minute.
Yeah, so I'll be excited to see him. I don't know when. He'll probably go on Thursday too. I think they're doing black belts. Maybe not. I'll have to relook at the schedule. So
cool.
I'll have to watch him. Well, all right, man.
Cool, man. Well, it's good catching up, and let's see. Maybe we'll have an update one way or another from Master Worlds, either before or after. So if we don't talk to you until then, have a good week, man, and good luck out there.
You too, man.
All right. We'll see everyone next week.